So it's a little sped up, but I always start with the basics. I always gather my references and start with the sketch, and then I bring it over to Eclipse Studio Paint, where I kind of draw over the different elements of the characters, just to get a better feel and maybe make some changes to the proportions, maybe the size of the head, the way it's shaped, maybe make it a little wider or narrow, depending on what I feel. You'll see me going through the process of each character, trying to get, going over all of the elements of the sketch. And you'll notice the leaves are just used there for references because that's going to be one of the bigger elements in this project. So right now I'm going to go over some of the leaves and just create lining or line art for these leaves, color them in, and then I'll have to shade them just a bit. So you'll see I'm trying different variations of the leaves, just so there's variety in the leaf colors and the leaf shapes. You'll notice a lot of orange and green and red and yellow. Those are the main issues. So now that I have those set up, I'm going to start creating the line art. So I go through over each of the elements of the character of the sketch, and I created like using the line art tool. I'm able to get some clean drawings, some traces that I can use for coloring in. And now I start with some basic fill colors, and I just start with flat colors for the skin, for the different parts of the clothing, the sweater, the hair, the pants, the shoes, that kind of thing. I usually start with one character at a time and then go to the next one. And I like to create a separate layer for the eyes because I like to work on the eyes separately, and that way I have more control and flexibility on how I work with them. You can see that I have different elements going on in these eyes. And now I was working on the second character, just working on the eyes as well, and the hair and the face. Now I'm going to shade in the first character, the one that's in the air that's jumping. Trying to get some shading in and seeing how it how it goes. I always like to add some red cheeks, just to make it look cuter. Um, I think that's good how this is. You'll see me just uh, checking everything here and there, maybe checking the layers. Now I'm working on the nose, adding some sparkles to the eyes. Just some minor details. You might not be able to see them this distance, and I'm working on the hair. I had to create different layers so I can get like different shading and making it look more three-dimensional. And the hair sticking up because he's in the process of falling down from his jump. Now I'm creating some shading underneath the character's neck, the sweater, and the highlights as well, just to show that it makes him three-dimensional looking appearance of this character. I think that finishes with this character just doing some minor things with the hands, just to make it look a little more visible. And soon I'll start on the next character. Alright, now I'm working on the second character, and I'm using references for the hair. Now, keep in mind that the way I'm doing the hair right now is not how I stick with it. I tried different methods for hair, and I kind of get lost because I'm still learning how to do hair and male characters and female characters, and I just looked at different videos for some advice and tutorials. So you'll see that this method is the method I use to stick with the characters. I'm just creating different layers of flat colors and some shading below just to add some depth to it. You'll just see me working on the hair on this lower character. And I realized I kind of like the coloring, so I just adjust it to fit my need. And then I decided to create a separate layer, or duplicate the layer, and just to try out different layering tools and options. And I created the eyebrows and the nose, and I shade his head. Now that I have him done, I work on the leaves, and I just create different patterns and variety of leaves just to make it more believable. Then I work on the background. You'll see me working on like trees and the skyline, creating like a twilight look to it, like the sun is going down. Here's some clouds, and that's the final project.